Ask Amanda. All right. Hi, Amanda. I'm 34 years old and a teacher earning about $60,000 a year. My boyfriend of 2 years earns roughly 3 times what I do. We recently decided to move in together, but before doing so, we sat down to discuss finances and how expenses would be divided. Good job. He believes we should split everything evenly, 50-50. I don't feel that's fair given the significant difference in our incomes. My suggestion was that he cover rent and utilities while I handle groceries, dining out, and other shared expenses. He disagrees. His reasoning is that we're both adults and that splitting things evenly avoids feelings of resentment or one person feeling like a burden. Up until now, money has never been an issue between us. We're both responsible with our spending. He usually pays when we go out to dinner and has always been generous with gifts for birthdays and anniversaries. We have a good relationship, have met each other's families, and have talked about marriage and the future. However, this disagreement has made me pause. I'm starting to wonder what happens down the line if we have children, especially if I become financially reliant on him for a period of time. Will this same mindset apply? Am I overthinking this, or is this a red flag? It doesn't sit right with me that someone who earns so much more expects an equal split without accounting for income differences. Should I be concerned?
Very.
End of story. Next.
Break up with him,
always
girl.
make it seem so simple.
Break up with him, girl.
It is that simple though. Just like she asked you, she should ask him, okay, well,
She should ask him just like she asked you.
like, what happens if I end up pregnant and now I have to rely on you? What happens in that situation and get that answer? Now, if he comes with a wrong answer, then
She gonna have to give her half.
that's, I'm not gonna lie, oh, your homeboy.
That's crazy.
Yo, fam, you are foul for that.
That's crazy.
If she makes 3 times less than him,
Yeah.
He makes 180.
that's messed up.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
She's a teacher, you said.
Yeah.
Teachers make shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Teachers make
He
shit.
should take on more of the law. And I'm gonna be honest, men shouldn't have to, and it shouldn't be demanded. When you're in love and you're building family as a
Natural.
man, you want to go ahead
Yeah, it's natural.
and make sure that your woman's not struggling and just
Exactly.
like it's kind of whack. I ain't gonna lie.
Can we talk about dating someone that is like financially on the same level as you?
It's easier.
It is way easier.
I don't like it.
We know.
I'm
that
just
this-
saying. I don't like it. I personally don't. I'm just speaking from my opinion. That's it.
I feel like men will have a better not understanding, but they would probably be more for that because obviously women who want men to pay for
Yeah, men accept that all the time.
yeah,
I think
because it's easier for their relationship, especially if a man wants to be in a relationship where he does want to pay 50-50, then it's easier to do that when a woman is making just as much or close enough to what he's making.
I don't want to speak for all men, but the men that I speak to who are actually men, because every man ain't,
They're males.
you know,
Masculine or like
well, no,
have that
there's
provider
males and then there's
standpoint?
men, right?
Thank you.
Most men that I speak to, they want to provide in that way. You know what I'm saying? And we want to live up to that role that, you know, women would love to say, like, you know, we want you to be that provider. That just seems like you
don't care.
not that you don't care, you just don't have any aspirations to be that in the household. And I think anybody
Not
should
an
be
alpha?
scared of that.
It's a red flag.
It's a red flag. It's a red flag for any man to want to just do the bare minimum to keep their house afloat. Like I want to do more than the normal. I want to do more. Not. I don't want to outdo my wife, but I want to do enough to where if something happens with her, all this is covered no matter what. I don't want to have to rely on my wife to keep this afloat. And
Based off of the fact that he mentioned resentment, it seems like maybe he
No,
already.
no, she did.
She did.
Yeah,
No, but
but
that was his
she's saying that was his excuse.
she's
That
saying
was
that-
Oh, you don't want to build a resentment.
Oh, okay.
So that must mean that he may have already felt that in the past.
Like
The reason men are constantly bringing up 50-50 today, right? They're over here actually implementing it into their relationships is because this is what women fought for. This is the outcomes of women wanting equality in society. Oh, well, we need equality here. We need equality there. There should be no reason why we're in a household and only the man is the one that's answering everything. We're both here. We both live here. We're both leaders, yada, 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 yada. Yet, at the same time, we have to treat them like children. We have to literally treat these women here in America like children. Got no choice. They say that they're equal to men, but they don't carry the equal amount of burdens. You say that women are equal to men and that, hey, well, we are both leaders in the household and that nobody really can tell me what to do. But when it came down to women working, they wanted to have the option to work. And then you give the woman the option to work. And guess what? They cry and complain about that. When a burglar breaks into the household, we're equal, but guess who has to be the first one to go downstairs? A man. When they say that we're equal, but yet when it comes down to making the tough decisions, guess who everybody will be looking at? The man. Because these are the same women that say they don't need men will tell you at the same time, hey, well, we don't have manly men today. I want a man that's going to be able to make the dang decisions, that's going to be able to do this, that's going to be able to tell me what to do. But it's just like, once again, what are women giving in return? They really aren't giving anything. They want 50-50 all while still having the same responsibilities that women had of old. But it's like, y'all women aren't of old because y'all women aren't virtuous. Y'all aren't even virgins. These are the same women that will expect a man to pay bulk of the bills. This would be the same woman that will expect a man to pay bulk of the bills. But somehow, some way you have an issue with 50-50? This is something that women fought for. So you just have to ask, how do you have an issue with a man going 50-50 with you? Because you do understand that if he wasn't there, you would have to go 100%. If he was not there, you would have to go 100%. And the good thing about this is you do know that if something were to happen, he's paid, so you already know the situation will be taken care of. But this is just proof that your women truly don't believe in equality. They're just selfish, ungrateful women. American women. Hey, look, you want to, you lumping them all in a hole? Sure. American women are selfish and ungrateful. They do not care for 50-50. They only care for things to go their way. Once again, we already know the saying that men got to spend their money while women get to save their money. Right? Men have to spend their money on bills, fixing cars, doing all of that stuff. And guys, the cars also, they talk about they're equal and 50-50, but yet when somebody's in the house, when somebody's car in the house breaks down, guess who has to be the first one to look at the vehicle? The man, not the woman. The woman never has to do that. But somehow, someway, we're 50-50. Once again, the guy just saying, hey, look, do 50-50 on bills. Outside of that, everything else I'm going to be taking on, right? I'm gonna be taking on all of the burden. But just one thing, if it's just one thing a woman doesn't like, she's going to hit on that day in, and somehow she's going to make that the biggest priority. Even if it's something that's super small, she's going to make that the biggest thing. But that's what children do. But once again, these are the same women that fought for these outcomes, and then they get the outcomes they want to complain. This is why I always say women will rather complain than just make a change. And the women are hypocritical on here. They are the same ones that will leave a man if he's not making enough money, if he's been down on his luck for the longest, if he's not moving the way they want him to move. They will up and leave that guy. Let's just keep it a being.
and used or something.
Yeah, so he's probably like being more
Protecting himself.
cautious,
That's fair.
because I feel like that's the only time I hear a man say that.
That's very possible. I didn't consider that.
Put it like this: they're both in love with each other, right?
I don't like
Can
conditions.
she do more to make more money? Is there? Can she do anything else to make more income?
Maybe,
It is a possibility.
for sure.
Have that conversation. And I'm not saying teachers are bad or anything like that. I'm saying just have that conversation. Because like you said, he's trying to protect himself, and maybe he sees her at her cap and her limit. Listen, this is all that you're going to be able to contribute, and I've been burned like this before. I'm just trying to protect myself.
I feel like that's the only way that would be considerate.
That's what I'm saying.
Like if someone's
have the
been hurt
conversation.
before and that's the way that they're moving for that reason, that makes sense.
All right, Aaron, go ahead.
So I actually like Alan's proposal of everybody choosing to live at the $60,000 cap. Because if I make 60, that means we need to live in a city, state, whatever, where I can flourish at 60. So maybe I need to be in one of the maybe top 20. No, Connecticut.
Like a 2-person household.
We definitely going to we definitely going to Dallas or Houston or Austin.
No, baby, you can't get no in Houston, Dallas, Austin. Are you crazy? The median home price in Austin, like 3 years ago, was $500,000. Yeah, literally. Like people think that. So I think if you move from maybe New York,
It depends on where you live for sure.
if you maybe move from New York,
California.
DC, Cali, and I won't even say Cali. I'll say like Bay
The
Area,
Bay Area, yeah. Oakland, yeah.
LA,
San Fran.
maybe probably San Diego. Then I can see why moving to Houston is attractive.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you, as a person who rents to people,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't getting much for $1,500 a month. You're not even an apartment.
Yeah.
You can at least count on a 1-bedroom, 2 stacks.
I'm just, you know what? Because
That's
we
crazy.
spoke to the guy maybe having some apprehension because he's probably been burnt in the past and
And
all
that's
that. That's fair, right?
Very fair.
But if that's the case, like when do you put that to the past and just decide to move off of?
Yeah.
Like you've invested enough. You live together now, so you've already determined that
They
the
do
person.
live together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're living together. You've already determined that this is the person I want to see every day. I'm investing that level of trust. When do you put some of that past trauma? Just like it really cripples
Yeah, for
us
sure.
from just getting because
does.
that woman right there could really be the woman for him.
Yeah.
And he's allowing some past trauma or his what he thinks is insight on how he should move to protect himself, cripple him from really having a genuine relationship with the person that could potentially be his partner. I would never want my partner to feel like I'm if I make 180 and you make 60, and then I'm coming to you saying we got to split everything in half, that's, I could say F word, right? That's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
So there was an article not too long ago where the son of somebody who owned a whole bunch of businesses, the father said, "Hey, no matter who you marry, they have to sign a prenup."
Oh, that's the Morgan and Morgan.
Yeah,
I think I think I sent that.
and I think that's a brilliant idea.
Absolutely.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
That's the only reason I said what I said about him protecting himself, because what if his father was in his ear and was saying, "Hey, if you want the what happens when you die? If you want the inheritance and everything."
Yeah,
Could
but
be set up like
that makes sense.
But paying bills is not the same thing as far as inheriting like a legacy. Like, first off,
No,
you
no.
gotta.
He's like, I think he's a billionaire, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
But in this guy's situation, nigga, you paying bills. You
100 here.
yeah. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you ain't protecting much, but a couple of dollars that's gonna go in your pocket for some rent money. Like,
Yeah,
fam, if an extra $1,000 is going to create some level of comfort in your woman's mind that you felt comfortable enough to move in with, come on, what are you protecting?
if you put it like that,
But-
then I
Well,
agree.
how about this? So going back to Alan's proposal of, okay, let's imagine that you don't make 180, you make 60, just like me, right?
You have a household of up 120 at this point.
Yes.
Okay.
So my question is, are you willing, if this is your hard line in the sand, my question is, are you willing to move to a place where we can
Cheaper.
flourish? Not even flourish. So, yeah, okay.
No, we not able to flourish. You able to flourish because you stacking that other 60 on the
Well,
side.
I'm just trying
and
to.
I'm still having
Well, that can go towards something.
it could have went towards the rent.
But listen, what I'm saying, because real talk, if you make 60 a year, your rent should not go over $2,000.
No.
It's just not financially
It's a third of your salary.
responsible.
If you make if you make 120 a year, if the household is making 120 a year,
But that's not
where should you
realistic.
sit?
Not over here.
and you're
Period.
you're
Right.
proving
Not
my
over here,
point.
not
You're
over
proving
here.
my point. He has to be willing
To uproot.
to live somewhere
Yeah, not
where
over
we
here.
can flourish with a household income of 120.
So at 120 as a household,
Mm-hmm.
what should be our medium rent, right? On top of that,
Mortgage.
or rent, mortgage,
Yeah.
But let's be honest, I'm thinking if you that cheap with your girl, you probably ain't going to get no mortgage. You're probably going to rent some joint out. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you're right.
if we start putting all the things together, like how you said, that extra 60 goes to all the other things we can do. That extra 60 could also go to providing your lady some comfort with not having to pay.
But do you think he's like, based on, you know, the fact pattern, do you think that it would be something that he would do?
There's got to be a compromise on his behalf at this point.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with saying to your lady, hey, I want women say it all the time. It sounds kind of, I ain't gonna lie, it sounds kind of corny, but for a man to say, I want to be equally yoked, sound whack.
Mm-hmm.
But in today's day, people are saying it. So let's just say he goes to his lady and say, listen, this is what I'm bringing to the table.
Mm-hmm.
I want us to be equally yoked so that this doesn't feel like a give and pull.
Mm-hmm.
So cool, that's an option. But what if she's not able to do that? This is also the person that you decided to have a relationship with.
You said she's not willing to do it?
Let's just say she's not willing. Let's just say she's not capable of doing it.
Of them both living at the 120?
Yeah. Whatever job he has affords him to make 3 times more than her.
I got what you're saying.
She's a teacher.
No, why are you doing
It ain't but too many teaching jobs she gonna get that's gonna get her to 180.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do? That's the partner you pick. So for the rest of your lives, you make her have to live up to your financial status. Some of the luxury towards having a partner who's in a better situation is to take the ease off of some of the things that you weren't able to achieve in life.
And it actually opens up an opportunity to
do
like she
more.
can go get her master's
That's
and
what I
go
was
into
saying.
admin.
That's what I was
and-
saying.
Yeah.
She could do more.
Yeah.
She can. And I think that if we're doing 50-50 in a 120 household, you need to buy all the groceries. You're paying for all of our dinners out.
Wait, but but wouldn't the 50-50 mean everything is 50-50, or is it just
No,
rent?
I thought that it was going towards the bills and stuff within the house.
Well, food is a bill. That's why I was asking. Is it everything is split straight down the middle?
Well,
or?
actually, her compromise was that he does rent and utilities and that she'd do little
Groceries.
stuff like groceries, eating out, and stuff like
she
that.
must not know how much groceries cost.
You know?
I mean, but if you're comparing to rent and
Bills.
utilities,
Do you want to know how much money?
I know how much money. I have 2 kids.
Exactly.
And I pay rent and everything by myself.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. To me, groceries are no longer the little
Yeah,
auxiliary
because
bill.
of the inflation.
I think that she knows that, and she wasn't like throwing groceries in there like a small bill, because that would basically being like, I'm paying for everything that we need in this whole house.
Yeah, to eat.
Yo, you know what?
It's a lot.
You know what? We being too nice. Nigga, you corny. Nigga, you corny.
This is.
I'm sorry.
Did
I'm
I
sorry.
not answer the
Hold
question?
on.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
like we do too much.
But question from the
Yo,
jury.
this
Erin
is-
always
you
does
moved
that.
it-
She
you-
literally answers right away
Yeah,
how
like,
she feels.
you
I was
moved-
just trying to have a deeper conversation about it, but we know
Yeah,
that.
but some
This
things
nigga's
in life
corny.
are really that simple. Yo,
Everything
you
is.
love this woman, obviously. You moved in with her. You should want to provide for her in ways where she's not efficient.
Say lame.
If she's not able to live up to your same level, cover that
Lame.
extra $1,000, bro. What do you because I got I've been hurt or maybe somebody used me. Then nigga, be alone.
Did they mention marriage? I'm sorry. Maybe.
I don't wanna
they
marry
talk-
nobody
They do
that
have
can't-
conversations
No, I'm just
about
saying
marriage in
what-
the future.
Yeah, baby, that ain't.
Girl, walk
girl,
the
how
other
she
way.
I don't know.
We don't get pictures.
Walk the other way.
Send pictures to the next one.
We need to start getting pictures.
Yeah,
That
because
would
I need to
take-
figure out.
Said that a while ago, didn't you?
Send pictures. We
need to see who y'all talking about. And send a picture of the person you with so we
That's
can figure out if
crazy,
y'all
though.
should
Y'all
even.
crazy.
You said, yeah.
Nigga,
That would
because
change a lot of our.
no,
opinions,
that
a
you
lot of our
you can't do
takes.
that. You can't do that off
You
of
go-
looks.
Be like, that
First of
makes
all,
sense, girl.
you
Can't
gonna
do
be
that
up
off
here
looks.
talking about them.
No.
No.
Because if
No,
We'll be
it's for
kind.
research
no,
purposes.
Yeah.
because if homegirl look like
I get it.
a little snaggy snack,
No.
and homeboy got a little
Missing a side
missing
piece.
like a whole grip, the whole jibs is gone, the whole top part.
No.
Once again, guys, this is proof that you can't leave women to their own devices. They are literally children. Your American women, or I say women in general, right? But your American general are children. They are children. The women on the panel are children. These are sisters who have the body of a grown woman, but the mindset of a child, an ungrateful child. I mean, once again, all of those sisters saying, yeah, man, no, this is a red flag. He's a red flag. He's this, he's that. And you just kind of have to ask, for the men, because you got the guy in the middle being a simp. You just have to ask, is the woman going to do the same thing for you? Will the woman ever do the same thing for you? Will women do the same thing for men if the roles were reversed? No, they will not. This is why I said earlier that if they're making more money than the man, Listen, they're number one, they're going to try to be the masculine one in a relationship, all while still making sure the man still be the quote unquote man and the leader. He's just cosplaying at that point. He's just cosplaying. Hey, well, listen, I just need a vessel. So, you know, with you being here, I can be able to say what I want to say and say, hey, I got a ring, right? Even though this man is just a simp, even though this man is just a pushover. But you leave these women to the devices, man. They're gonna do what they want to do. They're gonna pick who they want to pick, and that's the funniest thing about it, right? Shout out to Shannon Sharp because he even made a video about it because it hit so hard.
I'm gonna share with you what my therapist shared with me. She said, Shannon, your biggest mistake is that you see yourself in other people. Bars. You think people is gonna treat you like you would treat them or like you would want to be treated. Bars. She said that is your mistake.
That is literally how your black man view black women today. Literally. Your sisters, your women today will not do the same thing men will do for them. Let's just keep it a bean. We see it every single time. If a man is over here getting jumped, women ain't jumping in. And I wouldn't expect a woman to jump in, but women ain't jumping in. But if a woman gets hit upside the head or whatnot, guess what? A man has to spring in. A man has to come over there and come help. It's just weird. Like I said, these women will complain. I mean, once again, they will sit here, ask to be able to have the option to work, right? I want to be able to work. You have the option to work, then they come home, they complain and say, well, listen, I hate work. Well, you wanted to work, blah, 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 blah. They say they hate cleaning up and they say they hate how it takes hours and hours and hours to clean up, but guess what, right? You sit over here, you make them a dishwasher, microwave, oven, all of this stuff. Now they saying it's slave work. I mean, people, now we hear where they're asking for 50-50 and we give them 50-50. Now all of a sudden, oh, well, you know what, nah, that's messed up. This man is this man is that. Like, come on, man. This is a system women have created and you're upset because we're just playing a game that you want us to play. And this is why we compare women to children. They don't know what they want. Logic of your modern day black woman. I mean, you already know we gotta look at these comments. Somebody says, and I wonder if she'd have the same opinion if she made 180K and he made 60K. They will not. That's what I was talking about earlier. They will not. Then somebody else says the guy in the middle is a simp. Then somebody else says they're not married. If she can't afford it, then maybe she needs to not live with him. Then somebody else says guy in the middle, Derek Jackson, 2026. Then somebody else says best example, women not wanting real equality. If they're living within their means, why shouldn't she want 50-50? Then somebody else says E is really going out bad. He went full simp. This is the consequences of the desired equality. So then somebody else says, can somebody please disprove the we are both adults point? Because if they broke up, how much of her own life would she be responsible for? Once again, guys, this is just proof that your women are hard to please and that they are leeches. Let's just keep it a bean. A lot of your women here in America are leeches. They always love to talk about double standards, but yet most of the double standards lean towards women. Do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. To the next one.